Welcome back, everyone, to the Wildly Wealthy Woman podcast. I have an affirmation for you today that if you tap on this repeatedly, is going to work like magic in your life. I've been saying this affirmation to myself all week long, and I have noticed things shift so quickly, and I'm so excited to share it with you. But before I share it with you, I want to tell you about a realization I had this week around money and manifesting, because it completely changed the way that I see my intentions when I'm setting an intention for a manifestation that I have. I realize that so many of us are focused on manifesting money to get to the desired outcome, when that's backwards. There's a different way of looking at it. So for me, some of the things I'm manifesting: a house on the lake, a top 10 podcast. I've always said I want to do tapping with the stars. I visualize these things all the time, a $20 million in my investment account. But this was the breakthrough that really set me free this week. And that was understanding that money is just a tool that helps you bring in your manifestations, right? It's one of the many ways that those goals could come to life. But it's not the only way. And I think a lot of times we kind of pigeonhole ourselves into thinking, I just need to manifest more money. But money is not the source. God is the source. Your manifestations can come through money, yes, but it could also come through meeting a person, someone introducing you to someone that opens up an opportunity that you never saw coming. It could be being at the right place at the right time. It could be a door closing so that a better one can open. There's so many other ways that things can come into our life besides money. Someone could gift you something. And really the bottom line to me is everything starts to happen for you when you allow yourself to simply be yourself. So that's the point today that I want to get across before I dive into the affirmation. Money is one pathway. It's not the only pathway. So open yourself up. And for me, this clicked. I was on a walk this week, and when it clicked, I felt this huge wave of relief because all of a sudden things got more fun. Instead of just thinking, well, I can't do that because I don't have the money for it, I started to open up to the new possibilities that were available to me that I couldn't see before. So this week I started playing a little manifestation game with myself. What would I be doing if I already had the money? I think I need in order to do what I want to do. I'll say that again. What would I be doing if I already had the money? I think I need to do the things that I want to do. And I'm curious what comes up for you. If you're, if I had the money right now, I'd be doing this, I'd be doing that. For me, as soon as I started thinking this way, things started manifesting. All of a sudden, I am now doing a really fun trip to Banff this December that was not planned, didn't see coming, because I shifted my thinking. And if you're new to the Wildly Wealthy Woman podcast, we talk about this all the time, your wildly wealthy woman identity. And this is one of the core identity pieces I'm going to be talking about over the next few weeks. For me, opportunities started to line up, not because the money showed up, but because my identity shifted. Because here's the truth. We don't just get what we want, we get what we believe. I want you to think about that for a moment. We don't just get what we want, we get what we believe. And so this is the work that I'm doing all month long inside our 21 days of tapping and affirmations, is looking at what are my beliefs about the things that I want. And so next week we are tapping, we're starting on Monday. And for those of you that are listening to the podcast, today's affirmation is everything I'm doing is working for me. I started saying this to myself this weekend, and I can't even explain to you how fast things started to change. So for example, if I'm going to the gym, everything I'm doing is working for me. If I'm learning Facebook ads, everything I'm doing is working for me. If I'm posting content, everything I'm doing is working for me. And I want you to notice in your life, where could you start using this belief? Everything I'm doing is working for me. I want you to imagine yourself using it this week. And so last night, or 2 nights ago, I decided to put up a Facebook ad. I have never done them before. I'm just learning them. And last time I checked, there was about 553 new people listening to the podcast, because that one ad started to work. So I want you to start saying this to yourself, saying it while you're doing the dishes, while you're driving, while you're paying bills, while you're working out, while you're dreaming your big life, your big vision. Everything I'm doing is working for me. Let this be your new internal reality. And if you guys aren't already inside the 21 days of tapping and affirmations, make sure you join us, because the secret to this working is the repetition. I was listening to an interview with Rhonda Bryan. She is the person who wrote the book, The Secret. And there was a couple of things that she said that really stood out to me. And one of the things she said is the repetition is what matters. So this is the thing I'm inviting you to say this week. Everything I'm doing is working for me. You can tell me what area of your life you're using this in. I'm using it in the gym. I'm using it in my business. But you can use it in any area, your parenting, your health, your relationships. And a couple of other things that she said that to me feel like every wildly wealthy woman just needs to be tattooed onto her mind is, number one, you have to feel like you already have the thing. Number two, you can't look at what is and expect it to change. Number three, you have to look towards where you're going. And she said a couple other things about money that I know, because this is a Wildly Wealthy Woman podcast, someone's going to need to hear this. But she said, when you pay a bill, imagine the amount of the bill that you're paying actually being paid back to you. Okay, so say you had to pay a $200 phone bill. Imagine that $200 coming back to you. Why? Because everything you're doing is working for you. Your money is helping people. This was the second tip she had with money. Imagine every time you pay a bill, think about the employees that's paying. Think about the families that's impacting. Think about the circulation that is happening because you are paying this bill. You are putting money out into the world. And in the 21 days, we've been talking about the identity of the lender, not the borrower. It is safe for me to release because I am always going to receive. This is the release, receive, tapping method that I teach. But these are a couple of the things that I wanted to bring into this week. And those of you that are listening to the podcast on Monday, this is what we're going to be focusing on in the 21 days. And the other topic that came up was paying off debt. Instead of focusing on trying to catch up and pay off the debt, focus on creating more. And you can use that affirmation. Everything I'm doing is working for me. The debt strategy I'm using is working for me. And ask yourself, what would I be doing if my debt was already paid off? How would I be feeling? Where would I put my energy? What would I be celebrating? Start acting like that woman now. And this is that same energy I shared at the beginning. When you focus on manifesting more than just money, you open up limitless possibilities that are already sitting in your atmosphere wanting to come to you. So there's a couple exercises I want to share today in the podcast, and one of them is creating a wish list. So last week I was looking over my wish list. I'm working towards having 500 things on it, and this is putting your biggest dreams on paper. So I put really fun dreams on there. Like, I want to tap with Kim Kardashian. I want to interview Kris Jenner. I want to own the nicest house on the lake with the best view, with a massive private yard. I want $20 million in my investments. I want to take my mom on her dream trip. I want to build a foundation for single moms that want to start businesses. I want to become a top 10 podcast. And thanks to you guys, that's starting to happen. We're getting so many new shares and listeners. I wrote fun things like, I want to go to the Oscars, or I want to take my daughter on her dream Mamma Mia trip to Greece. And so this is part of the exercise I have for you this week, is to make a list of these big, wild dreams that you have. And for me, as I started to read the list, something started to click in my body. I realized I'm not just working towards this, but I'm working from this. Everything I've done this year has been preparing me for these things. Whether that's the team, the systems, the tapping, the identity work that I've been doing, it's this subtle shift of everything I'm doing is working for me. And that's this feeling started to wash over me, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, I was letting my manifestations being limited by money. And maybe you are too. Your manifestations don't come from money. They come from a source so much greater. And remembering and saying to myself, okay, Jackie, everything you're doing is working. You're not waiting for these dreams. You're being shaped for them right now. And I know there's somebody listening that needs to hear this. These things aren't just out in the future. And that's the whole theme of the 21 days, from becoming into being. They're not just a one-day thing. They are here now. You don't need the money to feel ready. You just need the belief. We don't get the things we want. We get the things that we believe that we can have. And so this is the exercise for you today. Create your wish list. So if you haven't written it yet, just open up the note in your phone and create 500 crazy things I would love to have happen in this lifetime. And if you're not manifesting it yet, it's not a desire problem. It's a belief problem. So you want to ask yourself a couple questions. What identity am I manifesting from? Am I manifesting and thinking from my old self or my new self? Am I creating from lack and scarcity or creating from destiny? And am I looking at where I'm being called to be? Because here's the truth. You do not manifest just by looking at what is. You manifest by looking at what is coming. There are big things coming. If you're listening to this, if you found this podcast today, or if you're listening to me live on TikTok, there are big things coming into your life, and it's a little shift in your mindset that will bring that into being. So step one, write your wish list. Start with 100 things if you want. But dream big. Dream until it scares you, or you think, oh, this is wild. Could I allow myself to think that these things could happen? Then number 2, I want you to come and sign up for the 21 days and tap with me through the beliefs. Again, we don't get what we want. We get what we believe. So when I look at something, I would love to interview Kris Jenner. I'm going to look at all the beliefs I have around why I don't think that can happen. Because I'm a girl from Canada, from a small town, all these things, I'm going to tap through them, and I'm going to change my belief. And the third step is to ask God, where are you guiding me next? What plan do you have for my life? What identity are you developing inside me right now? And what's the next aligned step? Because there is that level of surrender when it comes to manifesting. That's why I call it release to receive, right? What does God has a plan, has a way for me to get there. And this is where you really release that attachment to the money needing to be the source and letting God be the source. So say these affirmations with me. Everything I'm doing is working for me. Everything I'm doing is preparing me. Everything I'm doing is bringing me closer. And I already have everything I've asked for. Feel the gratitude. There are things you prayed for this year that you got. What are those things? Pay attention to them right now. Think about what they are. Feel in your heart how grateful you are. Take a deep breath, receive all this in, because this is your new truth. So if you are new to the Wildly Wealthy Woman podcast, welcome. We are so excited you're here. My ask is that you share this message with 3 friends today, 3 women that you know are on the rise, that want to change the way that they experience life, change their money mindset. Please share it and join us inside the 21 Days of Tapping and Affirmations if you're not in it yet. We're going to be tapping, 20-minute tapping session this Monday on this new affirmation. Everything I'm doing is working for me. And if you love this episode, make sure you subscribe so that you get the next one. These come out 3 times a week. We're on a roll right now. This podcast is growing like crazy. Thank you all so much for being a part of this movement. And we will see you next time. Bye for now.